So Jrue the Shoe Holiday could be available. That's the report we have now. I'm sure it would take a lot to get him. We're talking about one of the best defenders who can play point guard or shooting guard. Probably could even play small forward if you really need him to. Might depend on the matchup and whatever. Can defend a lot of positions, can lock down a star if he's able to put a lot of his energy there. And then offensively, make plays, make shots. His threes haven't been amazing throughout his career, but you think if he's got like really good players making shots for him, it could go up more. Just a high impact player, you know. Maybe one of the 25 best players in the league, maybe not. Ballpark, definitely. He's making $26 million, and I'm just going to start with Miami because I think this is the team that I've at least kind of seen it talked about ever since this announcement came through a couple hours ago. So I think Miami wants to accomplish two things to me. Number one is they want to be as good as they can be right now, but they also want to keep their cap space open. I believe 2022, if I'm stealing that from, I believe it was Brian Windhorst who said that. Or potentially even earlier than that if they could get off of these James Johnson and Dion Waiters contracts. Miami doesn't have a lot of picks left, and the Stepien rule could mess them up on trading this year's because next year has a bunch of protections on it. Anyway, if I'm the Pelicans, I want either Kendrick Nunn or Tyler Hero. I feel like Miami would want to give them Justice Winslow and like James Johnson or something. And I don't know what the resolve would be for that. I think a lot of it depends on what you think of Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero. Like, what do you see their ceilings as? I'll tell you this much, even if you don't think those two are amazing, they're a lot younger than Jrue Holiday, you know? And they're a lot cheaper, even with Nunn's contract ending after next season. Now, maybe the middle ground would be Dragic, who makes even more than James Johnson and is good, but maybe he's not in Miami's future plans like other dudes here could be, and the Pelicans could keep Dragic and, you know, solid point guard for you. Granted, he's a little older, but he has been very good this season. Hopefully his groin injury isn't something super serious that's going to leave him out for a long time. That could throw a thing into this. So, I don't know. I mean, if I was Miami, I'll tell you now, and feel free to disagree, I don't think I would give up Kendrick Nunn or Tyler Hero for Jrue Holiday. I would if Holiday was maybe 3 years younger, but the dude is pushing 30, and depending on if he accepts that player option or not in his last season, that could make it really tough to get into free agency. And, you know, Jrue is good, but he's not one of those dudes who instantly makes you one of the best teams in the league. Now, if I could get him for Winslow, Dragic, and something else, okay, then you got my attention, but I don't know if that's really going to do it, so there's that. Maybe I'm dead wrong on all that. Could the Pacers go for him? I mean, we have some Miles Turner rumors. What about a Miles Turner for Jrue Holiday swap? Does that work for both teams? Potentially. I will do a video on Miles Turner in like an hour from now. I think the Pacers would have to throw in more money. I think Jrue would actually be great for the Bulls, and if Otto Porter was playing better, or just actually playing, then perhaps that could be something, but as it stands right now, probably not. Well, Atlanta, listen, I keep doing this whole speed up the rebuild spiel because Trae Young is really good. I'm just saying, look, you got the expiring contracts, you have some young players, you do have this extra Nets pick, Jrue Holiday next to Trae Young. Is it a ridiculous idea? Especially if you could keep John Collins? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the Pelicans would have to really like some of those guys, Herter and whoever else, and you know, whatever, maybe. We move on to the West. Also, I want to mention with the East real quick. Philly, I mean, would Philly do it? Like, they just made a whole bunch of moves. I feel like they just want to have an actual team that just remains the same for a long stretch of time because that's been a thing for them the past few years. And then Celtics, Bucks, I don't really see it. So, let's move on to the West. I've seen some Clippers talk, but I feel like for that to happen, you'd have to trade one or two of their very good defensive players, and doesn't that really help you out? I mean, Jrue is better than like Mo Harkless, I get it, but if you eventually you're trading away so many things, it's like, are we really getting any better? Dallas, I love the idea of Jrue Holiday on the Mavericks, but I'm pretty sure the Mavs can't trade their first this year or in 2022 because they're both around the Knicks picks. And I don't really think they have the young talent they'd be willing to move, so meh. Denver has been brought up. I get it. I see the idea. Jrue, Jamal, probably get a couple guys out of here like Malik Beasley, Gary Harris, potentially Will Barton, maybe not. Frees up some more minutes for Michael Porter Jr. I get it. I see the rationale. However, they've got protected picks for the next 3 years. I mean, it's going to go to OKC this season, but it hasn't technically done that yet, so I think it makes it tough to trade that. But I think there's definitely a move there. I mean, Gary Harris and Mason Plumlee gets you to Jrue's salary. You might want to swap other dudes in and out for that move to happen, but okay, I got you. I see you, Denver, Jrue thing. I'm sure Houston would love to get Jrue Holiday if they can make that money work and if they can actually have enough stuff going to the Pelicans that's good enough. Cool. They might need half the league in on the trade to make it happen, though. I'm sure Daryl Morey's drawing it up. Phoenix, I like the fit, but I don't know where the players going to the Pelicans really are. I mean, you're not trading Ayton, of course. And then, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Kelly Oubre, Dario Saric, they're all okay. But am I going nuts over that for Jrue? I don't know. A lot of this depends on the market. For Jrue, of course. I think the market would be pretty good for the guy. I kind of love him on the T-Wolves. It wouldn't be too tough to get to the salary. It's Jeff Teague and Gorgie Dang's deals, basically. But would the Pelicans want some real players back? Probably. So that's interesting. And then finally the Pelicans. He's on the Pelicans. And then the Warriors. Would Jrue on the Warriors be cool? It could be. He would be their new Iguodala. He's better than Iguodala's been the past couple of seasons, so that would be kind of wild. And I mean, it would be D'Lo to the Pelicans, which, I don't know. Anyway, that's it. I think if Jrue is available, he'll definitely be traded. Because someone's going to make an offer. Like, the dude's too good to just have an opportunity to get him and no one takes him on. This is not DeRozan where it's like, oh, does he even fit? Like, yeah, Drew's one of the best defenders in the league. And he's damn good on offense. Like, he fits. So, could be cool.